Hang on a minute, hold the fort, we can't be having this. I've seen it all. Chelsea have been linked with Kalidou Koulibaly, world-class centre-back, could come in and revolutionise the Chelsea back line. He could have the Virgil van Dijk effect, but no. Man City are interested, of course they are. Man City, they draw a match, and next thing you know, Pep Guardiola's having a meltdown saying they can't compete anymore. For goodness sake, Man City are in for Koulibaly. Spurs are in for Koulibaly. Chelsea need to be in for Koulibaly. And this video today is going to tell you why. Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Finally, I'm not talking about Jadon Sancho in a transfer rumour video. Who'd have thought it? I mean, that's all I flipping talk about. Apparently, we're talking about a centre-back today. We're not even just going to talk about, like, defensive signings. We are simply focusing on Chelsea's current centre-backs, players that we've been linked with, such as the brilliant Kalidou Koulibaly. Ancelotti's been sacked from Napoli, which I called that, and I also think he's probably going to go to Arsenal. People are saying he might go to Everton. I think Ancelotti will be the Arsenal manager when Chelsea go there after Christmas. It's just something I think. I said it on Twitter when I said Mourinho would end up at Spurs. He did. Jose Mourinho's come in. We know that he likes to build his team off of the solid back line. And Koulibaly, considering he's come out and said that he's not happy, he is the name on everyone's lips right now when it comes to teams looking for defensive reinforcements. Now, how much money is this geezer going to cost? Well, he's going to cost around £90 million. If you look at what Liverpool spent on Virgil van Dijk, it's a bargain considering. Now, Koulibaly's going to cost more than Van Dijk. Every single season, the value of what world-class players are just goes up and up and up. So Liverpool, considering this year he could have won the Ballon d'Or, Lionel Messi rightfully did win it, but Virgil van Dijk was so instrumental for Liverpool and he's been such a great player. It really has taken Liverpool from being a team who always had defensive issues to a team that have won the Champions League, got to 2 finals in 2 seasons, and are now looking as though, unless there's a catastrophe, they're going to win the Premier League. And I think a lot of that, if you had to attribute that to one signing, is down to Virgil van Dijk. Now, if you look at this Chelsea team, yeah, we're not clinical enough going forward, but we're still pretty good. We play attacking football. Defensively, it's been bad, isn't it, really? I don't want to say too much negativity about it because I do feel as though we need a player at the back who is just an actual gargantuan individual who can lead whoever it is he's playing alongside. All of Chelsea's current centre-backs, let's go through them one by one. Fikayo Tomori, very young. Rumour has it he's just signed a brand new contract to stay at Chelsea until 2024. That is brilliant news because what I've seen of Tomori so far this season, he's broken into the Premier League. It's his first season. He's taken it by storm. He created one of the best moments of the season with that wonder strike away at Wolves. Yeah, his job isn't to score wonder goals, but it always is going to be in the back of my mind when I talk about Fikayo Tomori. Extremely fast, extremely confident. Sometimes he plays irrational passes and he overhits the ball. But from what we're seeing of Tomori, for such a young player, he's got a very, very bright future. And in terms of Chelsea potentially selling a centre-back, Tomori not going anywhere, signing a new deal. He's one of the guaranteed people to stay. Let's move in to talk about Andreas Christensen. Breakthrough season under Antonio Conte. We thought we had this ball-playing centre-half who had extreme confidence. Next thing you know, we find out that he really struggles with nerves before matches. Not only that, I don't really feel as though he looks as confident on the ball as he has done in the past. We were talking about a player with potential, and from what we've seen from his development, and yes, he's missed a lot of games at Chelsea due to not being picked or injuries, but I don't think, personally, Christensen is the answer to a long-term Chelsea centre-back partnership. He's a player that could still get a very big money move to another top European club. He's very good on the ball. In terms of the way that there's something about Christensen that I like him. I don't think he's strong enough for this Chelsea team. I think if he's partnered alongside Zouma's obviously a big, strong man who can make these crazy tackles like the one we saw against Lille. I don't think Christensen has got that same kind of ability in his locker. And I think the nerves, even though I would like to see him have a future at Chelsea, I just don't think he's fulfilling the potential that we thought we had in the player a few years ago. So if we're putting like an imaginary bracket of centre-backs that could potentially leave Chelsea, I am going to stick Christensen in that category. I still think he's a very good player, don't get me wrong. I will support him for sure if he stays at Chelsea. But if we're looking to bring in, which I think we can all agree we should be, Tomori is pretty much safe. We put him in jail, but like the good jail. and then Christensen's kind of like hovering over that volcano at this moment in time. Let's talk about Kurt Zouma. Statistically, this season as a centre-back, Zouma's stats have been very good for Chelsea. We know how strong he is. All of the players, whenever anyone's asked about, oh, who's the strongest player in the Chelsea squad? Everyone's like Kurt flipping Zouma. Have you not seen the bloke's legs? He's huge. Zouma's also an extremely clean tackler of the ball. Whether he's this leader that Chelsea need, and if we're trying to not sign and spend mega money on a world-class leader at the back, I don't think Zouma has that kind of leadership. I think he's a very good defender. I think he's very quick. He's strong. He can pass the ball very well, but he's also very susceptible and prone to a mistake. And it's the kind of level of mistake that can often see Chelsea concede goals, and you can blame Zouma for the individual error. It's also something that Christensen is susceptible to as well. With Zouma, he's 25 years old, and we've got to remember that he's probably still got his best years as a centre-half ahead of him. We've seen him when he first came to Chelsea. Even though he was very young, he was extremely confident. He's a very big lad, and he's very strong, and he's also very quick. He had the injury. He was at Everton last season and he was probably their best centre-half. This season at Chelsea, I've been really impressed with Zouma. I know we're talking about an overall defensive problem, but if there is someone who I think is safe and that I want to see stay at Chelsea, Kurt Zouma is not someone that I would consider selling. The next man is Tony Rüdiger. We spoke about him against Lille. At the moment, he's on everyone's lips as like the saviour at this point because he came in against Lille, very calm, very confident opening performance in his first game back. But again, the questions with Rüdiger, is he a leader? Is he someone that we can be confident every single week, no matter who his partner is, that he's going to marshal the back line and lead from example? If we're talking about Kepa as the goalkeeper, we've seen some phenomenal saves, we've seen some brilliant individual moments, but I don't think as though he has full control and leadership over that back line. The issues lie with maybe the fullbacks not being the most brilliant defensively, and the centre-backs, there's no one really there who is the commanding figure to order everyone else around. And with Kepa not being that guy yet either, it will come with Kepa. I do have faith in him. We desperately need a centre-back to come in, guaranteed to play every single game, and build the defence around that one player. So if we're looking at what we've got on this screen now, I've put Rüdiger as safe because I think he is probably one of the best defenders at the club. Christensen, I think, is the player of any of these Chelsea centre-halves. And again, I know that there's going to be people that disagree with me here. Christensen is the one that I think would have to make way if Chelsea are going to spend mega money on another centre-back. And I genuinely feel as though we will. We're being linked with players like Koulibaly, and I think he's one of the best centre-backs in the world. And it would give Chelsea the opportunity to build a defensive unit around him. If you look at what we've had in the past, we were very lucky to have a spine of Petr Cech, John Terry, partnered with Ricardo Carvalho. I mean, it's the best centre-back partnership that the Premier League's ever seen. Vidic and Ferdinand, I know, but statistically, Carvalho and Terry, and the rest of the defence was built around John Terry's leadership and presence at the back. Chelsea need to bring in a player who can have that kind of effect again. The issue with Kalidou Koulibaly is he's not the youngest, and Chelsea are going to be spending premium money on someone who is a world-class centre-half. He's probably not going to be the main man for 6 or 7 seasons, and if we're looking at the average age of this side, Chelsea are trying to build a team where they'll have that core foundation for 5, 6, 7 years. So that being said, we move into another transfer target whose name's not even come out yet within this video, but everyone's been talking about it. It is a very feasible Chelsea signing because we have a £40 million buyback clause in the player. Of course, we're talking about the person we're coming up against this weekend for Bournemouth, Nathan Aké, left-sided centre-half. We look at Zouma, prefers the right. Rüdiger prefers the right. Tomori's on the left. If we bring in Nathan Aké, Chelsea have what I would consider to be 2 very strong options in the right centre-back and the left centre-back position. Not only that, Nathan Aké would cost probably less than half the price of what Kalidou Koulibaly would have to cost. Now, if you start adding Man City into the bidding war, maybe Manchester United, I've also heard rumours, Tottenham, Koulibaly's price tag is probably going to go up as these teams start to compete with one another. Next thing you know, Chelsea are going to have to break the £100 million mark to sign Koulibaly. We can sign Nathan Aké for £40 million. So if we bring it back to this screen and the volcano and all of these little things we've got going on in our heads right now, do we need to have another centre-back who isn't at this moment in time world class? And I wouldn't say he's the biggest leader. I think he does have leadership capabilities and qualities, Nathan Aké, but he's not going to be that centre-back who comes in and totally revolutionises the Chelsea back line. He's going to be someone who comes in and, again, is an option for a strong defence. Rüdiger's a great player. Zouma's a great player individually. Tomori is a very good player with an extreme potential. Nathan Aké is kind of still in that bracket. Yes, he's had a few very good seasons at Bournemouth. We've seen him at times very competent on the ball. He can get forward and score goals, which is something, again, we need to see more of from Chelsea's centre-halves. Considering the size of Zouma, I can't believe he's not managed to bury one this season. Azpilicueta got one from a corner in the Champions League against Lille. Nathan Aké is an aerial threat, and he's also very good and confident on the ball. He likes to bring it out from the back, and he's also a very strong tackler, be it standing or lunging in for a slide tackle. Nathan Aké is a very, very good centre-back. 40 million, considering there's teams like Pep Guardiola's Man City, again, being linked with someone like Nathan Aké, Chelsea can get him for the bargain price. And sometimes when it comes to signing players, we've seen it in the past with Chelsea and Willian, where we stopped Willian signing for Spurs by bringing him in for ourselves. When it comes to the Premier League and competing with your opposition, sometimes it's better to just buy the player so that someone else doesn't. And with Nathan Aké, even though I really do rate him highly, I don't think he's going to fix this Chelsea back line. And personally for me, and this is my opinion to round off this entire video talking about centre-backs, I think Koulibaly would come in and have the same kind of impact at Chelsea that Virgil van Dijk has had at Liverpool. And no one can argue with what Liverpool are doing right now. They're the best team in the Premier League, the best team in the country, champions of Europe, and I think if Chelsea really want to start competing again at that level, a world-class, proven leader needs to come in and marshal this back line. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Koulibaly, would you spend the money on him? He's going to be expensive and he is a little bit older, but he brings that immediate leadership quality. Or would you spend a little bit less and focus on other areas of the field and spend 40 million on bringing in Nathan Aké and trying to create a backline with either Rüdiger, Zouma, Tomori and Aké as those centre-halves in order to make Chelsea stronger? Yes, there are other positions in the defence that we need to go into, but it's Christmas and I'm making 2 videos a day, so let me know in the comments down below which position you would like me to talk about transfer targets in next. The left-back position is something that we've been heavily linked with. Marcus Alonso supposedly could be on his way out of Chelsea in January. He's been frozen out of the team by Frank Lampard. Emerson, the jury's still out on him. Some people don't think he's good enough. Chelsea, even though we've made a lot of money from selling players recently, it's not going to be a case of everyone that's in the squad right now is going to be able to stay. And I've said on this video, if there is one centre-half that I think we probably should get rid of, we could probably get the best price for Andreas Christensen. And I think in terms of the qualities that he brings, if we're going to replace a player, I think Christensen would be the one to leave. But as always, it is just my opinion. I did think at the start of the season that Christensen was going to be one of our top choice centre-backs, but my opinion has changed a little bit because I do think Zouma's performances, not just statistically, but due to his natural size and ability to put in those big slide tackles. He's a unit at the back. We know he's error prone, but I think bringing in that leader could fix that up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, thank you for watching today. It's been election day, but we've had 2 videos here on the George Benson Football channel. Check out the Premier League predictions from earlier on today if you haven't already. And I'll see you all tomorrow with my Bournemouth preview and probably talking about some left backs. See you all later. Goodbye.